This Late Night Linux Family podcast is made possible by our patrons. Go to latenightlinux.com/support for details of how you can join them. Support us on Patreon for access to ad-free episodes and early releases. That's latenightlinux.com/support. Hello and welcome to episode 111 of Linux After Dark. I'm Joe.
I'm Chris.
I'm Gary.
And I'm May.
Welcome back all. We've got a short episode today. I decided that I want to have Christmas off this year, but instead of no episode, I thought, why not do a short episode? Before we get into it, just a message that the Australian laptops are all gone, so you can stop emailing in and stop hassling Old Nerd on Discord. Loads of people have got one now, but yeah, those pre-Windows 11 laptops are all gone. You've missed the boat, sorry. So May, you've got a question for us.
Any horror stories from when you were first doing IT support for people, when you were way too young to be reasonably doing IT support for people?
I mean, we'll be here all night with me and Joe start doing those.
Yeah. I've got the time when I was reinstalling Windows for myself and I had a small-ish hard drive and then a massive 200 gigabyte one for all of my files, and I accidentally deleted the partition on the 200 gigabyte one.
Ooh.
But I had it all backed up to DVDs. So I spent the rest of the night copying
Oh my God.
about 20 DVDs worth of backups.
Oh, the pain.
Well, your mention of DVDs reminds me of an IT support job I was once working, and one of our clients was a firm of solicitors. And we once had a very panicked phone call from a senior partner in the solicitor's firm. He said, I've put the DVD in the computer with the evidence on, and I can't get it back out. And I was trying to talk him through, using the emergency eject hole on the CD-ROM drive. And he was like, no, you really don't understand. Like, the CD is stuck in the computer. And what he had managed to do was take this CD of evidence for a very quickly upcoming trial and put it into the gap between the CD drive and the other 5¼ inch bay. So when he said the CD is stuck in the computer, he literally meant inside the case of the computer.
I think my most painful one was I took a laptop in where you had to take the front off. The top case was a bit like a MacBook, sort of. You have to take the whole keyboard and top case off, but then it had a ribbon cable attaching the keyboard. So it wasn't quite as bad as now where the motherboard and everything is all riveted together and you just can't get in. So you could take the top case off, but I snapped the Wi-Fi cables for the antenna as I did it. I was like, oh, God damn it. And I'd nearly finished repairing the laptop. I was cleaning it out, upgrading the SSD and everything. And I tried to give it back to the person. Like, it connected to Wi-Fi if you're right next to a router, because the antenna were like literally 3 centimeters short. And of course, she called me like a couple of days later. She's like, yeah, when I go upstairs in the house, it just like loses the connection. I was like, okay, I'm not going to get away with this, am I? So I had to like snap off the bezel, because you then have to take the screen off, basically, flip the screen forward, take off all the insulating tape. The replacement antenna were like pounds to get. They're just wires, but they have to be the right dimensions, and you have to route them correctly around the entire screen. It was such a waste of my unpaid time to repair. And it's just because I just slipped at the last minute. And basically the lid, while sort of half attached, had dropped off the table I was working from and yoinked the cables at the same time and just snapped off the ends. So, yeah, dreadful.
Well, my Enterware Apollo, which serves as the keyboard stand for my recording machine, has got a similar-ish issue insofar as those little connectors, I can't remember what they're called now, that connect onto the Wi-Fi card. One of them is slightly bent and so won't stick down properly. Like, it won't stay connected. And so, yeah, Wi-Fi only works in relatively close proximity. Bluetooth as well. Like, if you go even a meter or more away, it starts breaking up if you're trying to watch YouTube or whatever with it. So I could quite easily and cheaply buy the cable, but can I be bothered to tear it all down and route it all for an 8th gen i7 machine? I probably should, but I haven't yet. And it's been several years.
Well, my story was the one time, I think, that I've been a little dishonest when giving something back. I was given a laptop which was kind of nice, but a couple of years out of date at that point. And I was like, this thing won't boot up. Try and figure it out, whatever. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? So I got the hard drive out and everything and backed that up, and that's the stuff that they really wanted. And then I set to trying to get the actual computer running because, yeah, it was dead. I tried replacing the power cable, so the cable that goes from the motherboard to the plug, and that didn't do anything. So I started checking continuity around and checking voltages on the board with the thing plugged in, and I slipped one of the probes and saw a spark fly off. I was like, nah, that one's dead. So I gave the computer back. I was like, nah, this one's unfixable. And I think that's the only time that I've been not entirely forthcoming with someone about what happened to their computer.
It reminds me of when someone brought me a shitty HP laptop and just the Wi-Fi card, or I don't know what was wrong with it, but just Wi-Fi was completely broken on it. I tried booting into Linux and everything. Maybe it was just the card, maybe it was the whole bus, I can't remember. But my solution was to buy off eBay a PCMCIA card for it, which would stick out a little bit. I thought, well, it's better than nothing. Well, it turns out I didn't know enough about that, and it was a half-width one. And so it was it went in, but there was just this big gap. And if you knocked it, it would just kind of pivot left and right or backwards and forwards. And the guy was like, great, yeah, thanks. You've really, really helped me here. And he probably just chucked it away and got himself another computer. Well, like I said, it was a short episode this time, but we'll be back to normal in a couple of weeks. Until then, I've been Joe.
I've been Chris.
I've been Gary.
And I've been May.
See you later.